Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
To a special edition of What the Puck. We are being joined, and so you could say this is a 2-for-1 special by my co-host with Bad Yardage, my old pal Jordan Young, talking some hockey and yes, talking some golf as well. Kindly joining us on the show tonight, along with my pal Mike Iavasile from the Montreal Canadiens and of course USNTDP. Cole Caufield. Cole, really appreciate you taking the time.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And of course, another guy with some background at the USNTDP and now with CAA, certified NHLPA agent, Matt Williams, kindly joining us here on the show as well. Matt, really appreciate the time you joining us as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
And you know what? Can I start here for a second? We were just talking about this off the air. I'm incredibly biased because I was fortunate to work for USA Hockey and USA NTDP for a few years. There's something in our backyard you guys both are familiar with, obviously in varying degree. I think what the NTDP is doing in the hockey community, everybody knows what it's doing, producing players like Cole year in, year out into the National Hockey League. But I think around here, people still don't get what the USNTDP is. And not only is it a great product, but I think it's a great product for families as well. And an opportunity for kids around here and not so little kids around here to see some great hockey. And Matt, can I start with you? I mean, your experience with the NTDP, how would you explain it to, perhaps the average person who's tuning in that doesn't understand what the NTDP is doing?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's the NTDP essentially at its core is each year they select 23 of the best, whatever age group is coming up, players that are 16 years old, and try to develop them for 2 years, play under the USNTDP arena there in Plymouth, Michigan. And they play a combination of a USHL schedule, a college schedule, and then obviously international events. And as we said offline, they continue to pump out players year in and year out. Top half of the draft, top 10 picks, players that are playing in the National Hockey League, like Cole, like Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, Luke Hughes, Matty Beniers. Like you can go on and on about the guys who have come through that program. And I think it's a little bit not known very well that those players are 16 and 17. Those players will be NHL players in, 2, 3, 4 short years. I mean, in Cole's case, it was 2 years at Wisconsin, then he was in the NHL and playing in the Stanley Cup final not long after that. So it's a very high quality program, a unique program, kind of a little bit hard to grasp with playing the 3 different schedules. But you're seeing players at a very young age that are going to be NHL stars for a long time. It's a very special program. They've done a great job I think they've been there for 26, 27 years now. And the people who run it, USA Hockey, Scott Monahan, they do a tremendous job developing these guys.
And Cole, from your perspective, I mean, I don't think people realize, you have to leave home. You have to go into a billet family. It's a big life change, but talk about it from your perspective, first coming in as a young kid and eventually being a part of this uber successful program.
Yeah, obviously it's definitely a life-changing experience for me. It was kind of a dream to make that team and play with some of the best players in the U.S. area. And so for me, it was just all about kind of making that team and going from there. But I was lucky enough to have an older brother who kind of billeted a couple of years before me, so I kind of knew what that life in the timeline that you go to high school and class and stuff like that. But kind of got used to it pretty early. You kind of become really close with the guys and kind of get through those 2 years together. It's a very dedicated team and organization there, and it's very special to be a part of. I mean, all the mentors, coaches, strength trainers, they were all just pushing you to become better, and you kind of form that bond with your teammates to get through those times together.
As a I'll
Go ahead,
pop
Jordan.
in here as the Canadian on the panel. I lived and died by the World Juniors and certainly saw the program here in Plymouth grow over the years. And just from a fan and outsider looking in, I mean, they've matched, some of the top talent, obviously, in the world, starting from where they were to where they are now. I mean, it's right up there with the top. So kudos for the program, and it's good to have you guys close by in Plymouth. And we'll brag because we're in Michigan, but we appreciate all the guys being here for sure.
Yeah. Now, Cole, I wanted to stick with you because something, if you've been following Sean, that we've been talking about is this proven pathway of where the hockey player's path starts going forward. And looking back in 2015 to 2017, am I reading correct that you played for Stevens Point Area High? You played high school hockey for a couple of years, something that's close to our heart. 72 goals, 142 points in 45 games. What drew you to that? What drew you to high school hockey? And talk a little bit about your experience.
It's kind of just the program that we have in Wisconsin as you play kind of a AAA schedule before and at the end of your high school season. So growing up in Wisconsin, it's kind of pretty cool to go to your high school games and see those guys. You think those are kind of your heroes at the time. So for me, I kind of always wanted to. It was really, really special. I mean, you grow up with all your friends and you get to play competitive hockey with them. So it's pretty cool to kind of represent your school. For sure, probably not the level that really grew my game, but through those times, I got better and it kind of pushed me in different ways rather than competition. But still remember those good times. It was a lot of fun.
Matt, your path is different, and as we talk about all the time, the proven path. No two paths are the same. For you to get where you're at right now, it's amazing. As I looked at your background, that quickly you've been able to go from your position with the NTDP to being with CAA now. Everybody knows all about CAA if you follow hockey in any way, shape, or form. Tell us about your path as well.
I mean, I played a little bit growing up. I definitely didn't have 140 points in 45 games like this guy. So I knew pretty quickly I wasn't going to be a player. And my dad worked in the game when I was younger for the Chicago Blackhawks. So I kind of always thought I wanted to get into it, but went to Western Michigan. I worked for the team there, got the internship at USA Hockey, and there was a job opening with CAA, and I kind of just took it and ran with it from there, and kind of went in as, working with video with guys and development with guys, and then grew pretty quickly, which was lucky for me. And, had some good players like Cole that trusted me to work with them. And then it just kind of, I can't say anything else. I just kind of popped from that point, and still learning, still growing, and trying to figure out the business. And I have great mentors that I work underneath, and Pat Person and JP Barry and Jim Hughes. And I think that's been really crucial for me in getting to where I've been, is just surrounding myself with the right people, and obviously then the right players and the right families. Again, like Cole and his parents, who have made me a better agent just for having worked with people like that.
Now, how did you guys hook up? When was that first date for you guys?
His U17 year.
Yeah?
We were actually on a plane. I don't know. We've talked about this maybe last year, but we sat next to each other on a plane ride to U17 Challenge, and Cole was working on his autograph on the plane next to me.
Here we
Did
go.
you have
That
some
doesn't look
cheesy
great.
suit on or something?
That doesn't look great. You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to change it. You're gonna have to change. Like, no, you should do this. And he's just writing it on the paper the whole way. 16-year-old, still smiling the same way as he is right now.
Jordan, you see these guys a lot. I mean, look, newsflash, right? Hockey players like to golf. So I'm going to ask you right now, Jordan, is for people out there that don't know, he's a PGA teaching professional. Jordan, you got to break down both their game right now. I mean, since Matt opened it up, now we're going to let the shots fly. You got to break down both their games right now, Jordan. No pressure.
Well, Mr. Matty Ice Williams was over today working on his game because he was so insecure about going to up north tomorrow and play with the boys for a little bachelor party. So
right under the bus.
He gets a little bit. He gets a little more insecure. Okay. Now Cole Cole comes in, and he just kind of nonchalantly comes in, and he flips and flops around a little bit, and then we got to kind of talk to him like, I don't know, maybe a coach or something. Say, what the hell are you doing? Like, I remember last time he was in, he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I said, well, do this, do this. So he goes, do this. I go, no, you're not doing that. And he did it, and then he did it right, and he's like, whoa. I said, yeah, like, get your head on straight, like, figure it out. And then I don't know how you play the next day, but it was pretty good when we were there.
Then he shot 76 back-to-back days because of that.
Oh, is that good?
And beat me both times. Actually, no. You didn't beat. No. The first one I beat you at Michigan. I beat you there, but then you beat me at Bloomfield Hills.
Don't you love this? Yeah. Like the competition, these two guys together, then they come for a lesson is an absolute disaster, right? they're talking trash to each other. They're not even really listening to me. I'm just standing there talking, and they're just listening to each other for the jabs, right? But I don't know. They're fun to have over, and it's good with when elite athletes try and really pay attention. It's so cool to see how fast they can change, and I think that's really cool. Matt, you're close. I'll consider you pretty close to elite athlete, but
thanks.
You know, it's cool. It's cool to see people with skill and great hand coordination, and yeah, it's pretty special.
How much of that do you guys do in the summer? Like I know I've seen you guys out at different places. I remember Jordan last year when you and I were out at Rocket Mortgage, we saw a bunch of the NTDP guys out there. How much do you guys get out there in the summer? I mean, I guess for you, Cole, you probably hit some of the courses in the Montreal area, maybe back home, maybe around here. Is this something that multiple times a week you guys are going out and hitting the courses?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of more competing at something other than hockey. So yeah, we try and get out a couple times a week. No matter where it is, it's always a game, and it keeps things loose. And you're always not going to be really good, so you can try and battle and kind of give guys a hard time.
I got a question about our little Sandbaggers event at Barton Hills and how that went. I don't know, Sean, if you got a chance to check that out, or Mike, if you did too.
It's all my son talks about, Jordan. He's like, you've got to ask a question about it.
Matt's like, hey, do you know where we could do this Sandbaggers thing? I got to find a course. I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's try a few. So we hook him up at Barton Hills, and it's close. It was pretty easy, and I don't know what happened from there, but gee, I think Matt almost got fired. I think a few other people almost got fired. But tell us about that story with those guys and playing there, Cole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously kind of watched those throughout the years, and they luckily enough asked me and Trevor Zegras to hop on the course with them. And obviously, if you watch the video, it didn't really go our way. Still looking for a rematch, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. Those guys are hilarious, and definitely a cool opportunity, and had a lot of fun doing that.
Biz is terrible, right?
Yeah, but he gets strokes a hole. One stroke a hole. He was kind of playing like really nice that day too.
Jeez.
I saw the look on Matt's face. It was the I want to say something look on his face, but Matt, I'm giving you the opportunity now. You looked like you wanted to spit something out, so here's your chance.
Well, I mean, they played not great. I don't think Trevor and him won a hole, so that didn't sit well. But I think the other thing Jordan is referring to, which almost got us the whole sandbagger taken down, is when one of the cameramen drove over the green on like the third hole. Like they just bring in crews from somewhere and they video, and this person didn't know what they were doing, just took the cart, went right over the green, caused a huge uproar. But so I think the video's got 1 million views, so I mean, that's good.
and then didn't the drone get stuck in the tree?
Yeah,
Drone's still in the tree on hole 14.
We're throwing clubs up into the tree. I mean, what the heck?
Everything was going up there. We almost threw Cole up there, try to catch it, try to go get it.
Another one of your huge accomplishments, Matt, as an agent, I guess, was setting up the iSpeed, dude. What was that all about?
That was Cole. That was all Cole. You can talk about that.
Cool. What's up? What was up with that? That was kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, that was different for sure. I mean, he reached out to me on Instagram. He must have saw some video, and then wanted to kind of learn how to play hockey, and he asked me, so we had him out, and definitely well known by the younger generation, and he's a pretty big deal, so it was kind of cool, and
That's
something
cool.
different that I've never done.
He was genuinely excited, unless he's an actor, Cole, because I watched those videos. He was like genuinely excited to see you. Like, I don't know if you can fake that or not. And I think that's one of the things is maybe there's a guy that you're looking at that's going, oh, it's so cool to meet him. But that guy might be going, oh my gosh, it's Cole freaking Caulfield. You know, I mean, so it seemed to me a little bit of that was going on both ways.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he brings a lot of energy, and it's pretty cool to kind of get that reaction out of him. But yeah, no, you look at his following and the things he's doing, it's pretty cool. And most hockey players don't really get to see that side of things.
Yeah, he's had some pretty big name guys on his gigs there, but I was more worried when he got on the ice and he started doing the old and his stick started flying around. You were pretty close to him. I don't know how he didn't hit you a couple times at the stick.
Yeah, you gotta trust, but he learned pretty quickly. It was kind of impressive. I mean, I think we threw him in skates that weren't like baked to his foot, so he was kind of in pain most of the time. I think he could have been better, but no, it was pretty funny. Yeah, obviously, again, he brings a lot of energy and some funny reactions. So.
All right, back to the ice then. So, Cole, I've got to know. I like to ask this question when we have the guys on. Is that first time you put that NHL jersey on? And me and Sean will openly say the best jersey in the NHL, that Canadiens jersey. And then you step out on that ice with probably some guys that you grew up watching on TV. What's that first time like?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Something you can't really prepare for, and I got told after morning skate where I wasn't playing, and then headed on the bus back to the hotel, and they told me I was in. So it's obviously didn't really sleep much. Just tried to kind of breathe and kind of be in the moment. But definitely a special feeling. I mean, lining up to like Shea Weber on the blue line in your first game is something that you won't forget. But special experience. Obviously, really honored to wear the Canadiens jersey, and like you said, the best in sports. So I really take that to heart every time I get to do that.
Matt, you're on the other side of it. I mean, you are with a lot of times parents. You are with these young men that, as exciting as it is, make no mistake about it, it's still a business. Talk about that from your perspective, because I mean, it is one of the best days in a young player's life. It's what everybody who dreamed about playing hockey wants to do. Only select few do it. I mean, what's that perspective like for you, having that front row seat on the biggest day of their life and beyond?
I mean, it's rewarding. There's a couple days where it's like really rewarding to be an agent. The draft is one of them. When guys sign extensions or big contracts is one of them. Obviously, their first NHL game, first NHL goal, playing the Stanley Cup final, like those are rewarding. But to your point, like what is not seen in between is the business and the grind and the emotions and how invested they are day to day. It's special to see them achieve their dreams, but then people always say like getting there is one thing, staying there is another thing, and making it a career is a whole different world from just playing one NHL game. There's a lot of people who play one NHL game, but not a lot make it a career for themselves. So it's exciting to see them do that, but then trying to refocus their mindset on like, how do you get there? How do you stay there? How do you continue to build your game, build yourself as a professional, and make this something that you can do, long term, and look what Cole did and where he's gotten to and overcoming everything he's overcome, in his life. And I think a lot of it has to do with the personality, the mentality of the individual. And that's something obviously Cole has. So I think that's the most rewarding, is when you see guys finally, it clicks with them and they know how to do those things and they get through it, and being able to push through adversity. That's something that has to be forefront of my mind when you ask that question.
Cole Caufield and, of course, Matt Williams kindly joining us here tonight. Dual edition of Bad Yardage and Wut The Puck. Cole, I gotta bring this up to you very quickly. Jordan, I know you got some stuff, but we have I guess you could say, mutual friend, Chris Knuckles Nyland. I saw you on with Knuckles, and yeah, he gave us that chuckle too. You know, he's quite the character. But he gave you an incredible compliment, and I'm sure you know this guy, but it's one thing to know him. It's another thing to see what a sniper he was. He said he is the best sniper I've seen since Stefan Richer. And Richer, for people out there that don't remember, had a couple of 50 goal seasons. I mean, people forget you're still a young guy. There's tons of pressure in Montreal. I think you know that better than anybody, but you hear something like that from a guy like Chris Nyland. What goes through your head, man?
Yeah, that's that's obviously, very thoughtful of him and very nice of him to say. I think just to kind of be thought of by a guy like that in that way is pretty special. And obviously, I got a long way to go, but I love where I play. I love what I do, and just want to get better every day. So just again, lucky to be in Montreal.
22 and 44. I've got my dad, Stefan Richer, Habs jersey upstairs in my room in the closet. So I always get the text from Matt too. And Cole, when you play the Leafs, whenever you score, he just says 22.
Yes.
22. 22. And I don't even respond. Bastard.
Jordan also gets a text from me right around April 15th, 16th, when he's getting his hopes going like this for Toronto.
You know what? You guys can pile on. I hope for the Habs. I do not hate the Habs. I don't hate the Habs. I'll hope for whoever I want, but I'm a Leafs fan. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's all right. As long as you accept 1967, bitch. I mean, everything beyond that is okay, Jordan. It's all right.
I'm okay. All right. I got some more questions.
All right.
So it's going to be a little cross between hockey and golf, but favorite barn to play in for Cole?
Besides Montreal?
Well, yeah. I mean, you could say Montreal. You could say,
yeah. Yeah, I think obviously Montreal is probably my favorite ring to play in. I think MSG's probably a close second. Just the history there is pretty cool.
I think we came to watch you there this year in MSG. Favorite course to play? Golf course. I'll come back to that one. Favorite line mate to play with? Over the years. We might not even know who it was, but
over the years, I mean, obviously, I think I could say a lot of people, but obviously Jack Hughes and probably now Nick Suzuki.
Favorite foursome?
Do I have to say Matt for this one?
No, you don't have to.
But you will.
Yeah, I will. I think, I mean, any guy from around here that we're still pretty tight with. I think obviously Jack's pretty competitive. All the Hughes brothers. I think Trevor Zegras is obviously someone hilarious to play with. I think any one of my friends, man, honestly, just love being out there.
Where would be your dream? What's your bucket list to play? What are a couple of your bucket list places to play?
Whistling Straits, I think. Obviously Augusta. Want to go there. Pebble Beach, probably top 3.
Yeah, those are 3 pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Who's the best golfer in the NHL?
Probably Joe Pavelski. I think he just did really well at that tournament last week, and
Tahoe.
we're actually from the same city, so I've seen him play golf quite a few times.
And then who's the best golfer you've played with? Now I know you definitely aren't going to say Matt on this one, but
that's easy.
Best golfer.
Definitely not me.
Have you played with any tour guys?
No, I mean, I played with Jim Furyk for a whole last year before our season started, and that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys around here are on the same. I don't know. I gotta start golfing with some better people, I guess.
And then last one, what's in the bag for Cole Caulfield?
The golf bag, my
Yeah, what do you got?
QI10.
Come on. Okay. What else?
Um, a scary 4 hybrid, 4
Oh,
rescue.
oh, have you still
I
got those irons in the bag that you said Zegras picked out for you?
Yeah, yeah, 770s are in my bag.
So this is classic. He comes over and Cole pops in I don't know, every month or two in the summer, and he has these new clubs. And I go, where'd you get these? And he goes, oh, I don't know. Like they just send them to me. I go, who TaylorMade? He goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, well, did you get fit for him or whatever? And he's like, well, kinda. I go, well, you did or you didn't. Like, he's like, well, actually, Zegras picked them out and ordered them. I go, well, shoot. I go, so that's good. You're gonna play this guy for money, and he's gonna order your clubs for him. He's got them all jacked up, or they're not even fit for him. But anyway,
Oh,
They're working though.
They've been working out. They've been working out.
They've been
okay,
working.
all right. All right.
76 car.
Matt, we were just talking about this like before the show started, and even hearing Jordan and Cole talk about this, and you know the boys hanging out in this area. I mean, all these guys come to Plymouth and come play for the NTDP, and yet so many of them didn't grow up here, and yet they hang around here, and a lot of them make at least a home here, etc. And I know you're in the area as well. There's just something special about this area, and obviously golf plays a big part of it with the amount of courses around here.
Yeah, it's that, but I think the main reason, and Cole and Jake Sanderson are two good examples. Like they've moved here for the training and what GVN does at USA Hockey in the gym, and then obviously we have our skate with all the pros, and the training here is just really solid. And like Cole said, the group of guys that we have is just it's second to none in terms of the people that we have on the ice, people you can golf with. So I think it just has become, they are familiar with it from the NTDP. But it's just become a hotbed because there's so many good players here, and everything here is so. You go to the same rink, you go and you work out there. You can go across the street and grab a bite to eat, and you go back on the ice. You're skating with all NHL players and all stars and whatnot, and you're done at noon. You can go play great golf courses. So I think it's just a good fit overall for these young guys to be together, and they're all friends too, which is the coolest part.
Jump back to the USA program you guys were talking about. It also houses one of what Sean will call one of the greatest rivalries around in the women's game, the US and the Canada rivalry. And Matt, I see that CAA last year started to take on some of the women, the professional women hockey players. Do you have any of the women on your side? And where do you think this game can go? Can it get as big as that rivalry with the US and Canada in the professional women's league?
I think so. I mean, I think what they've done this year with the PWHL has been really special. They had a plan, they executed it. Obviously, every new startup is going to have some bumps along the way, but I thought it went off really fairly smoothly. And yeah, we did start representing women last year. We have a girl in our office, Dami Didia, who oversees that and deals with the women, and we all kind of help out where we can on different, just learning as much as we can about it and how we can be a resource for them, whether it's on the development side or the nutritional side or connecting with the right people. We actually just hosted a camp for some of our women clients out in Los Angeles that piggybacked off our prospect camp. And that went off really successfully, and we got a lot of good feedback from that, and Dami gets all the credit for that. She does a great job, but it's been really rewarding to see. They deserve the recognition that they're getting, and even more recognition. I think it's only going to continue to grow. And these guys like to watch it. Like even the NHL guys, like they turn it on, they watch it. They watch the rivalry series. They watch the Olympics. They watch the World Championships. It's really competitive hockey, and it's good hockey. They're very skilled. I had Kendall Coyne, Schofield on the ice with us earlier this year. I want to say in October, November was the first time I'd been on the ice with an Olympian, a female Olympian. And the way she moves, the way she skates, I was blown away. Like to see that up close, that's not in a game, but be on the ice with her, it was really impressive. So a lot of credit to those girls and what they've done, and they deserve everything that they're getting.
I will tell anybody that will listen, and I know Jordan and Mike have heard this before, so I'll say it to you guys. I've seen Colorado Detroit at the height of its rivalry. I went to a Nordique Habs game back in the day. That was incredible. The amount of hatred. I have never seen hatred like the U.S. women versus the Canadian women. And I'll be honest with you, it's awesome. It's fantastic. It made that 2017 World Championship at USA Hockey Arena just that much bigger. It is amazing, the rivalry. Guys, honestly, I don't think there's a better rivalry in all of sports right now than the ladies' side between the U.S. women and the Canadian women. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like and every game is really, there's no blowouts in those games. Like when they play in the championship, it's always going to overtime. So it's impressive.
Yeah.
Cole, speaking of international tournaments, I think it's about gosh damn time that the NHL got back to this. There was such a huge gap between the Olympics and Canada Cup going away. And obviously, I mean, everybody is excited for the Four Nations coming up. I mean, what does that do for you? I mean, obviously the prospect, the opportunity to perhaps go out there and wear the red, white, and blue, but to have the best versus the best again, it seems like everybody in the National Hockey League is on board with this.
Yeah, that's obviously pretty cool. Another thing to work for and strive for. So I think it's a great idea what they did, and something that the fans will get into too. So best on best is always pretty special, and then obviously being honored to wear that sweater in that tournament, and something that I'm working for. So obviously probably going to be really exciting to watch, and it'll be really cool for the league and for hockey in general.
Yeah, sticking with Cole here, I had to get this one in.
Okay.
As Sean knows this one, Cole, I give my son so much crap. I just give it to him about how good I was when I played. And I kid you not, last year, Jordan, you'll get a kick out of this. I went on the internet and I found an article from 1987 to prove to him that I scored more goals against the high school rivalry than him. Now, I'm sure that's nothing in comparison to what you grew up with your grandfather, your father, and your brother all having such great success. Did you use it as motivation to get where you are? I mean, they were all just like legends in their time, right? And you have to be the best in the house. How did you use that as motivation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously come from a pretty special family, and my grandpa obviously passed away, but kind of got us into hockey and got my dad into loving the game and got him in a big way. So, then came me and my brother, and he always pushed me growing up, and I was lucky enough to play 2 years up with his age group, so that obviously probably helped a lot. But definitely a competitive household growing up. Everything was competed about, and somebody always had to win. So credit to my family, credit for those guys for working really hard and getting to where they got. So obviously wouldn't be here without them and their hockey knowledge.
Matt, you're not. Go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead.
I want to know when CAA is going to have a Scottish golf trip for their players.
Oh, look at that.
Uh-huh. Got to work on that, Matty Ice.
Oh, it's crickets.
Is it, Matt? Is it really? Is that something you guys are?
No, I mean it's not on the docket, but we have to get it there. We'll get it there.
Man, I'm trying.
I'm
One of these summers,
on board.
One of
Thanks,
these
guys.
One of these
I'm just
summers
an
when everybody's
idea.
healthy. When everybody's healthy, one summer we'll go, because we've had some injuries the last couple summers where we've had a couple guys down. So
yeah, that's right. How about picks for this week? We start tomorrow morning. I think at maybe 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Is anybody even aware of who's playing and who might be winning this Open Championship this year? Nobody?
Cole?
You want me to go one?
Yeah.
They always have picks, man. Come on.
Who are your top three?
Well, if we do this, we got to do a draft, so it's fair.
Oh,
All right.
competitiveness.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. You start or me?
You want,
or I start?
Well, oldest
You
picks
start.
first,
Go ahead.
right?
No, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah. I don't want
Yeah,
to
I'll do-
excuse. I don't
Give
want
me
to
two
excuse
guys,
it.
please. Scotty,
guys.
please.
Scotty. Okay. Who else?
Okay, I'm taking Rory.
Okay. Sean.
I'll get back to you because I was going to go with Scotty, and Cole got me. So
You guys can't pick the obvious one.
I didn't.
Jordan.
Come on, give me
You
a
can't
break.
not. We get
Hey,
two
Jordan,
picks.
I'm
Come
gonna go
on.
off that board. I already bet on John.
I'm
Ryan
going with
at
Aaron
25-1.
Rye. Aaron Rye.
Okay.
That's my one pick, my dark horse. You want another one?
Let's go.
You've been pretty good with them.
I'm going to go with Luke. I'm going to go with Lucas Hebert. Those are my two picks.
He's been close. I mean, he's been close, right?
Yeah, he
Collar
shot
got a little tight
3 over last week on Saturday and blew himself out of the water.
I guess I'll go Xander.
Sweet.
How's that? I'll go Xander.
Okay. All right.
right,
Matt, you got another one, Matt?
Yeah, who's up next? Is
Am
it
I up
Cole?
again? And I think Cole's up. I'm between a couple in my head right now.
Can I take Victor Hovland, please?
Oh,
Thank you.
Mike, are you part of this conversation? Or
Well,
you...
I
waiting
thought
for
I
Matt.
thought I heard I took John Rahm.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. How's his toe?
It's all right. He's gonna bomb him out there. I got him at 25-1, baby. Let's go.
He's got no chance. No chance.
But Bobby Phillips Rye or whoever you took in the first one.
Aaron Rye. Aaron Rye. He's played his way in last week. T2.
All right, Matt, who's your number two?
If you pick the
I'll go
winner, you get a free
Morikawa.
trip to Scotland.
I'll go Morikawa. Yeah.
All right, I'll go Cantlay. So you got your second now.
I'm gonna stay with the live and go DeChambeau.
Okay,
Ooh.
fair enough.
Good one. He is getting so much press this week. It's almost embarrassing.
Yeah,
He is on TV nonstop. Showboat. I don't want to say showboating, but it's just got the shtick. I'm kind of getting sick of it. But
can we go back to ripping on the Leafs? Is there? Can we just? I know, Matt, you're not the only one that sends Jordan videos and things after games. As somebody brought up, I've been known to put on a mask every now and again and speak broken French to Jordan and mock him. But Cole, that 2021 first round series, I mean, what an incredible experience that must have been for you. I mean, one of the most storied rivalries. And Jordan, all jokes aside, I mean, to find yourself in that jersey playing the Toronto Maple Leaf in a playoff series, I mean, how do you even put into words how that went? I'll never forget the 2-0, by the way, Suzuki to Caulfield, back to Suzuki. But I mean, what was that experience like?
Yeah, it was obviously pretty cool. Kind of came right in and didn't even kind of realize what was going on. So I sat out the first 2 games, got scratched, and then got in game 3, and it was 1-1 at the time. And then we obviously lost the next 2, and from there things just started to go our way. And it was obviously pretty cool to play in a series like that, playing your first game 7, things like that. So.
I love game 7s. Love them.
It goes to show you in the National Hockey League, though, I mean, you take a look at the run that you guys made that year, and to a lesser extent, Edmonton. Listen, they had a good season. I don't think anybody thought that they were going to go where they went. But Matt, I'll stick with you. I mean, that's the National Hockey League today, in a league where you've got, here's the owner's buzzword, cost certainty. Really, you've got a situation where it shouldn't surprise anybody that you've seen the presidents go down year after year, and teams find themselves in the position where they can make a crazy run like that 2021 Habs team did, or even this past run by the Oilers.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much parity in the league, right? Like everybody's so good. And even last year not this past year, but the year before with Florida,
Sure.
them getting hot and Alex Lyon leading them into the playoffs, and then Bobrovsky takes them to the Cup Finals. They lose, but same thing. Like they were a really solid hockey team, knew how to play the right way, and they had elite goaltending behind them, and they got goals when they needed timely goals, and they just got hot, and momentum, wins a lot of hockey, and momentum and good goaltending in the NHL. So, but I think everybody's so good, and when you get good goaltending like that, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, sticking with this off-season talk here, Cole, with golf, obviously you guys do some golf, but to have a shot like yours, you watch on like YouTube, you'll see Crosby and McKinnon, these guys working like crazy in the off-season to get their craft going. How much do you work in the off-season on your shot and all the other things?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't take too much time off these days, and you kind of never want to lose your touch or feel. So, obviously, been back in the gym for a while now. That's like Monday through Friday. So, we're always training. We got a really good group there at GVM with Brian Gallivan, and we do a lot of things. Workouts are pretty long, and it's all good stuff. And I think who I'm surrounded with in the gym, just pushes me even more to become better. And then obviously skating probably 3 times a week. It is really fun and exciting. You get to be on the ice with those guys, competing with them. But the summers, sometimes feels like a season too, and it keeps us in it, keeps it fun, and again, I just love what I do.
I want to know how good Matt's passing is, because he talks about it all the time. He says his passing is so elite that you guys would say it's good. So I want to hear from you. Like, what's the truth here on this?
I will be honest. He's gotten to be a pretty good passer. He didn't start off too hot, but he's a quick learner, and he's got some low key skill to him. He's nice.
What's this? He's working out with you guys now too. He looked pretty buff today when he came in. Nothing, man. Come on.
I haven't been in a little while, so he's not going to say anything. Been busy, man.
Said everything.
No, I was honestly shocked when you said.
But you have to admit,
I'm not digging on you. I'm just saying I was shocked when you said that you were doing the workout with those guys. I was like, look, there's no way I could even make it through 5 minutes of it, but you're a lot younger than I am. But I mean, it is impressive. You run in there and go with your clients and do the workout. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Cole, talk about your coach a little bit. Marty St. Louis has been great with the young guys, and I think what he did late in the year, putting a former number 1 draft pick on your line. I mean, that is a big statement by a coach, and it really seems to me from afar that this is a guy that exemplifies the whole player's coach thing. I mean, talk about your perspective with him and how he's helped you early on still in your career.
Yeah, obviously we're very fortunate to have a guy like that with his knowledge and playing experience and all the success he had kind of be our coach and mentor. So I think for me, he kind of sees the game in kind of the same way I do. So that kind of makes it fun and always bouncing ideas off each other. But just his attention to detail and kind of making sure everybody's playing the same way, playing the right way. And he always says, play the game in front of you. And I think just the way he coaches is probably different than from most guys right now, but it's obviously very exciting and fun times in Montreal. Obviously, he put Slav with me and Nick, with the third left of the season, and kind of took off. But it's every day just kind of learning the game and growing with him is just special to have him around, and very honestly lucky to play for him.
And having the same stature as him, being a smaller player, there's the video of when you first came to Montreal and he was there, that he took you aside and he would talk to you. Has he helped you adjust to the NHL game as a smaller player?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, I probably do video with him once a week, every probably 5 games, and we just talk about things. But, he's a well-respected coach. Obviously, he knows what he's talking about, but just the way he does things is pretty special. And again, just very lucky to have him and learn from a guy like that.
Matt, and we'll close with this, Jordan, unless you have something else you'd like to throw out there. The game has changed so much. I mean, growing up for us. And the reality is, sadly, a guy like Cole, a lot of small guys, people look the other way. This was, the power forward era. The game has changed so much, and you're seeing so many guys go and have uber successful careers, and certainly we'll use Cole in that as the start of his career. But, for you, how does this work for you guys and CAA in regards to, keeping an eye on the next guy? There's scouting going on. Are you guys going out to tournaments and things like that and watching the NTDP, or is it just sitting by the phone call and waiting for a phone call? Tell us how that side of the business works.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I think obviously I've only been doing it for 6 years now. I think just talking to my coworkers and the bosses that I have from when they were doing it, like, I'll use an example. We represent Patrick Kane, and Patrick Kane didn't have an agent when he got drafted. Like, those days are long gone. And now we have employees who kind of focus on servicing and recruiting young players. And I would say it starts at, I hate to say it, but it starts at 13 and 14 years old, and identifying players, and it's a verbal agreement. And then, like, so for instance, like Cole, after his U17 year, we started working together his U18 year before he got drafted. But there's other players that you commit to much earlier, much younger, and you work with them from youth hockey through junior hockey, through college hockey into the NHL, hopefully, and they have a long NHL career. It's a big guessing game. But it's gotten so competitive with other agents that the recruiting has gotten younger and younger. So that's just kind of the nature of the business right now. And it's a little bit unfortunate because it is too young, in my opinion, for these kids to be having agents at 14 and 15. But that's just kind of where we're at.
No
I
doubt.
can say, I got to meet Matt maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. I know it doesn't seem like that long ago, but you came in to start taking some golf lessons, and we kind of hit it off pretty good with hockey talk and working on your game. And, fast forward to this year, and I keep saying, hey, Matt, what's going on? You want to play some golf? You want to get the guys together, play a couple Monday events? And he's like, I can't. I mean, he's on the road. He is busy. He's working nonstop, and, he's everywhere. But for me, I just want to say thanks for what you do for Dylan and all that stuff, and for both you guys. I got to spend some time with your dad. I actually skated with your dad and had a few cocktails with him over there at MSU with the charity outing with the Red Wings. That was pretty cool. And I know, Cole, you've got a great family. Both you guys are awesome individuals and great people. I think that's what's more important than the hockey or what you do and all that stuff. So keep doing that. Keep that number one. Keep family first, and we really appreciate you guys being here with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying all those kind words.
Appreciate you guys. Continue to do what you're doing. Really, it's awesome, and certainly from an NTDP standpoint, you guys are two guys that further the illustrious brand that the NTDP is now. Really appreciate you taking the time, fellas. Bonsoir.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Matt Williams, Cole Caufield, Jordan Young kindly joining us. Thank you for joining us as well. We'll be back. We're going to talk strictly golf with Jordan and Mike very soon. But Jordan, as you said, two great guys. Make no mistake about that. Two great stories. And it is amazing. You know this better than anybody, Jordan, how the hockey world, the NHL world, and the golf world, they're like that. There's no other way to put it. They really are. They're like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's too bad they didn't have more time to kind of sit and enjoy it. It always seems like that training or that season start, or in Cole's case, he had the shoulder injury that he's been recovering from, and he hadn't played golf until I saw him, I don't know, 5 weeks ago, and that was his first time swinging a club. And I knew he was injured, didn't realize it, but you don't think of those little things, right? Now we're not that far away from them heading back. So I think they would much rather like to have 4 months and chill out for two of them and play some more golf and enjoy the times together. But hey, they're professional athletes and they're there to perform. So
I'm just glad the guy didn't hang up on me when I told him I named my dog after him, because I
can't believe I can't believe you didn't put the lid on.
I no, seriously, I half expected him to just go like, "Oh, Kirby Doc's on the phone. I got to get going." And that's what I was waiting for. So, no, two great guys, and I mean this in all sincerity. The NTDP people are just fantastic. It was a pleasure to work there a couple years, and Scott Monahan knows what a big fan. Denise, everybody out there, just a great program, Jordan, in our own backyard that I'm going to keep preaching to people. What an incredible product it is. The proof is in the pudding when you look at the players they're producing out there. And don't forget, by the way, if you're a young aspiring player, I know a guy out there at Fox Hills by the name of Jordan Young that can help you with your game as well. So how'd you like that, Jordan?
I'm not a fighter though. So you're going to, I'm not going to go fight anybody.
All right. Thank you most importantly for joining us tonight. For Mike Iavasile, for Jordan Young, I'm Sean Baligian. See you soon.
What the Puck, featuring Sean Baligian. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Matrazek. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song and incidental music by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to What the Puck on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.